Hey, John here. Here's lick of the day number 15. This is an F sharp minor sweep and alternate picking run. We're going to be using Dorian for this one and also part of the blues scale as well. As usual, if you want tabs, you can find it in the description below or by clicking on the screen. And I'm going to play it through once slowly and then break the whole thing down. So we're starting on the 9th fret of the A string. This is one of my favorite things to do in Dorian, where you use the 1 minor 7 chord, and you do that from the 2 chord as well. Because this note here is the Dorian color note, so when you add this natural 6, it really brings out that Dorian sound. And Dorian's like a slightly bit happier minor. That doesn't sound like too much of an oxymoron, but it's basically the natural minor would be 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7, 1. In this case, we're gonna take the flat 6 and just raise it to the 6 from the major scale, and it gives the scale a bit of a lift without going into full major territory. All right, so, and what makes this so useful is that it's basically the same shape, just a whole step up. So very easy to remember. And the shape looks like this. So 9, 12, 11, 9, 10, 9, 12. And the way that I pick this is just down, hammer, down, 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 up, pull off. And then I start with an upstroke here. So 2 frets up, where I play the 2nd chord. So the same shape, just from this root note. So they're going to be up, pull off, and then I go down, up, 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 down, hammer, down, 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 up, pull off. So once you get here, it's the same thing that we did from the beginning. So. And then we repeat the same picking sequence, but using the A major 7 arpeggio. And I don't want to confuse you here, but that gives you F sharp minor 9th sound because of the intervals in relationship to the F sharp. And I've talked about this before. It's again one of my favorites as well for minor. And this one works in natural minor as well, so it's a really useful one. So basically, anytime you're in a minor key, if you build a major 7 arpeggio from the minor 3rd of that key, you get this minor 9th sound. And that's because we have your ear is going to relate the notes to this note. So this note becomes the minor 3rd, the 5th, flat 7, and the 9th. So, and why that's good is because then you don't need a huge minor 9th arpeggio with 5 notes. You can just stick to this slightly smaller minor major 7 arpeggio. So again, if we just check that out on its own, we have 12, 16, and then 14, 13, 14, 12, 16. And again, the picking will be the same. So we come from here, up, pull off, up, 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 down, hammer, down, 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 up, pull off. And from here, it's going to be a scale run using the this sort of hybrid Dorian blues scale mix. Very easy again to remember because you have the same fingering on the top 3 strings. So we're going to have 17, 16, 14 on all 3 strings. And that's, again, the root is here, so it's really good to be aware of that so you can see what intervals you're playing. So what we have here is minor 3rd, 4th, flat 5, so that's sort of the blues scale part of it. The 5th, the 6th, which takes us into the Dorian territory, and the flat 7, the root, the 2nd, and the flat 3 again. So, and the way that I get into this is basically, I think I did an upstroke. Doesn't really matter, you can get away with a downstroke as well. So, the only thing is that I start this string with a downstroke. So I pick this one, and then pull off, and then I alternate pick the rest. And that's that far basically. So I'm just starting from flat 7 here and go down, go back up again. And if you follow my picking directions, you should have ended up with a downstroke here on the 19th fret, which is the 4th of the key, and then I bend it up to the 5th. And I'll let it down to the flat 3, and then give it a bit of a tweak to get this semi-bluesy thing, as bluesy as it can get when it's a lick like this, right? So, and end up on the root here. And if you see my fingers like this, it's because I want to make sure I'm not getting any strings ringing that I don't want. So usually bending with the pinky, a lot of people get a bit freaked out by that, but I would never do this. I always get support from the other fingers behind this. It's actually quite a strong finger to bend with because you have 2 fingers behind, and then this index finger just keep the other strings at bay, so to speak. So if I put this together again. So that's pretty much it. Again, how do you practice this then? Well, I think it's a good idea to pair up these arpeggios. Let's go between them like this. And if that works, you can start pairing up these two. So and come up with a lot of variations as well. And as usual, I would move it up and down the fretboard really slowly. So I wouldn't advise practicing at the tempo I showed you, especially not at the end here. So I would sit around doing this, focusing on the quick transitions. So if I find that I'm at a tempo where I cannot focus on the actual movement from note to note, I know I'm practicing too fast. Sometimes I practice faster because it's part of the sort of practice protocol where I want to use speed bursts and different kinds of things like that. But in general, I tend to keep my practicing very slow. So I really want to focus on accuracy. So the picking thing here, you can actually combine the whole thing like that. So where you work on transitioning from the legato into the picking. That's a good thing to practice, and start down here. Whoops. And so on. After that, you can combine the arpeggio just before the picking run. So actually I will start here. Maybe just go that far, because if you're going to repeat doing the bend, it's going to tire out your hand quite a lot. So, but of course, if you have trouble with the bends, you should work on those as well. But I wouldn't necessarily do that with the more single note stuff first. So I would rather do that on the side, and then you can try combining everything, because doing a lot of bends can get your hand into like more of a, you tense up more, and you don't want to do that at all when you practice this stuff. So be a bit careful with that, but I mean, if you find that it works out great for you, just go with it. But in general, I find that working in a lot of bends and doing a lot of reps there can tire out your hands quicker, just by the nature of the actual technique. So that's about it for this one. If you have any questions, just post them below. Otherwise, hope you enjoy this one, and see you in the next one.